Hello! I think we should have a little tea time and talk, and I want to tell you guys about the reason behind starting Gardens of Glede, the backstory, and what I hope it to be. But first, let's make some tea. Hello! There's nothing like a good cup of tea. Tonight's tea is a mix of rooibos and I think it's just like a fruit blend. So I love rooibos tea. I love herbal teas because I can't really do caffeine. So I mixed rooibos, which I love rooibos, and a little bit of fruit. So all right, well, I wanted to sit down and kind of go over why I made this channel. And you guys all know the name. It's Gardens of Glede, and I wanted to explain the backstory to the name and then the backstory to why I decided to even make a channel. So the first and foremost thing was I wanted to create something that caused connection. So connection can be so many different ways. Connection to people through YouTube. I have friends all over the world. I have family all over the country. And just to be able to share life together and to share that connection of what are we up to and what projects are we doing and what are we doing in the community. So that's something that I really wanted to create for 2021. I think it was something that I was lacking, was connection to people. 2020 was hard in so many ways, and one of those ways was connection for me personally. Also, the idea of the YouTube channel, I had gone through a really different, or have been going through a really difficult time. I lost my grandmother at the end of 2020, and I had never lost anybody before, and my grandmother was one of the most special people to me, and she really understood me like not a lot of people did. And during that time when she was not well, there was another YouTube channel that I had followed for a long time, and they had their Advent. So they produced a video every single day for Advent, so the 1st through the 24th of December. And I cannot tell you how much that helped me through the grieving process, because it was a little bit of happiness and joy, a little bit of an escape, and I just loved seeing their life and getting ready for Advent, ready for Christmas. So it was really such an important thing to me during that process. And so I thought, I enjoy this so much. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, just a glimpse into their life and I enjoy it so much. I want to do this because it has helped me so much. I would love to create that for someone else. And really, how kind of the basis of this channel came about was I love gardening. I had a hard time figuring out what my thing was in this phase of life. I call myself a serial hobbyist. I love to do new things and learn new things, and that has been in me since I was young. I love to have new skills and have new experiences. So it was really hard for me, though, in this season of life to figure out what my thing was. And when my family moved to a couple of acres, I think I finally found it. I know as a person, I love to be surrounded by beautiful things. It's something that my soul needs. And so with this place that we have, I wanted to create a place that people could come to, myself included, that was surrounding them with beautiful things, with flowers and vegetables and trees and fruits, and just a calming, peaceful oasis, basically, a sanctuary. And when we saw this piece of land, it was exactly that. I remember driving up to it and just saying, like, this is it. And this is it in a blank slate. Can you even imagine what we could do with it? So I have made it my mission, and just for the purposes of soul care, to garden and to plant flowers and bushes and trees and all sorts of things, and create secret little garden areas and sitting areas for people to come and be at peace and bring joy and happiness when they see these things. And also having flowers that grow that I can harvest and give to neighbors and people in the community. I found that flowers, although they may seem like a novelty or an extravagance, they can really turn your day around. They can turn your house into just a much more beautiful space, and your yard as well. So it's something that I want to and continue and want to create something even bigger by having maybe a little flower farm for the community, and also a vegetable garden. It has always been my hope that we as a family can grow a lot of our own food. And my grandma and grandpa actually do that a lot, and they can, and they have a root cellar, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. And when we lived in our old place, we couldn't do that. We just didn't have enough land, didn't have enough sun. We're really in a really suburban area. And now we can. And I have a dream that we can do our huge vegetable garden, that we can grow it bigger and bigger. I would love to buy a piece of land and have an organic vegetable farm and orchard and flower farm that can feed the community, that we can grow it so big that we have classes and seminars and workshops to help people understand the value of good organic food. That's my dream, and I'm bringing you guys along for the ride because that's something that I want to invest in and would love for you to come along and invest in as well. So, Gardens of Glede. Glede means joy in Norwegian. joy, happiness, pleasure, and that's something that I want to create is gardens of joy. This year's been super hard for a lot of people. Whether you lost a job, financially things have been difficult, you've had your whole family at home and it's just so stressful to try to juggle work and school and all these things, whether you're grieving the loss of being able to see friends or being able to play sports or not being able to go in person to college, or your wedding was postponed, or your wedding looked way different than you thought it was going to be, or you've lost a loved one like I have. It's been tough. And it's hard to find the joy in those tough circumstances. But I want to cultivate that joy and that happiness in those places and remember that there are beautiful things regardless of what happens. So, gardens of Glede, gardens of joy, gardens of happiness, that's what I hope to bring you guys along and create. Right now, it's winter, so I'm bringing you along for the ride of everyday life. I want it to be bigger than just doing gardens. That's going to be a huge, huge part of it, and I'm so excited for that. But it's about building community, building connection, and building that joy and happiness in everyday life. And if I can bring that to you in just a little way, I'm so thankful, because there are people who, as creatives, have done that for me. So I'm hoping to have more tea times with you guys, and I hope you subscribe, turn on notifications, comment in the videos. I'd love to come to talk with you guys. And also I will be launching a Patreon. A Patreon is where you can support local artists, creatives, just a plethora of different things. And you can support what they do, the content that they bring, and the projects that they're passionate about, that you can help financially and with your support grow and make into something that no one ever thought was possible. And you can walk hand in hand with those people and create things that wouldn't have been created if it weren't for that support financially and just following them and subscribing. And it's really an awesome thing. And I hope you do, and I hope that this becomes something greater than I ever thought it could be. So, cheers, and until next time.